What's poppin', y'all? We back with another episode of the Squid Game Aftermath podcast. I am your host, DeAndre, aka Player 288, and today is a very special, blessed day. It is Sunday, but more importantly, it is a day I've been waiting on for a long time. We have an amazing guest. She is beautiful, strong, has a lot of fight, courageous, unwilling and unwavering of her opinions and behaviors, and most importantly, the champion of Squid Game Season 1, the challenge, Miss Mai. What's poppin'?
Hi, DeAndre. Good to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you too, Mai. I'm so happy to be able to talk to you today, and then also get to see you a couple weeks ago as well. I know you didn't recognize me because my hair is all cut.
I know.
but it's so I'm so
happy. I
like
the short one.
Okay, we're gonna keep it like that then. We're gonna keep it like that. I just need your approval for that. And then we're like, all right, what you gonna think about it? But cool. I'm happy you like it, but thank you once again so much for joining. We're gonna jump right into it, Mai. Tell me, why did you decide to apply for Squid Game Challenge?
First of all, I am not fanatic, but I really love the Squid Game, TV shows. And when I was watching it, I was like, oh, all these games are so interesting. And it's like childhood game. And then and my husband, he saw the application online. He said, honey, you should, apply for this. And I said, okay. I did not hesitate or anything. So, because, I can, it's like these games, I can do this. Little do I know, there's mental game in there also. But yeah, I submitted my video right away. And 6 months later, and I got a call like 3 days before I head out to London. I was so excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. She got her plane ticket and it's ready to go, and you're excited to go on this trip. So tell me what's going through your head the night before you head out.
I was wondering what type of players am I going to play with? Are they going to be all young? Because when I was at the airport, I would keep looking like, everybody had a backpack, looked young, athletics. I wonder if they are players because they were on the same flight as me. And so, yeah, I thought it's like a lot of younger crowds and there's no, older crowds. But then again, I said, I am 55 years old and there's got to be a reason why I'm here. Maybe they just want somebody to, get eliminated or something.
Yeah, definitely. They were just filler people.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get up out of there and we go head to London, quarantine for a couple of days. And it's, it's time to get on up out of there and head to the first game, which we soon, when we get there, we get in our little tents, get squibbed up and whatnot. And then we have to wait in this long line before we walk in. So tell me how you was feeling about this process and getting ready to go inside once we're at the shooting location.
Anxiety, and I was like looking forward to the red light, green light, and it's just like, okay, how am I gonna, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do my position? If we're gonna do red light, green light. And it was freezing. I was so cold. It's like, okay, this, and then I have, layers of thermal underwears and socks and all of this. I was like, wow. I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna make through this game at all, And of course, I didn't know anybody. And then, as we were standing in line, this is where, I got to know you, Chad, the 285, 286, 287, 288. And then I think there's an Asian guy in between somewhere.
Yeah, right behind me. He was behind me, 289.
Yeah, 289. Yeah. So, and I get, once I talk to you guys and, make me feel like, comfortable, I'm beginning, to open up about it and then say, okay, this is going to be fun, and everybody have high expectation. So I felt comfortable and going to the first game.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember meeting you. You were one of the first people I met, because we're waiting in that line for hours and hours and hours, and we're just talking.
And you're an entertainer. You did your game. You joke around. You just kept entertaining for the whole hours before we went to the game.
I was trying to relax the
vibes. Too. I was looking for you to see you finish the finish line. I said, oh yes, he did it.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I had to get up out of there. It was freezing and we was losing all control. But yeah, I remember speaking with you for the first time and you were a little unwavering. You're like, I don't know about this. Like you like, I don't know if I can make it. And I was like, nah, you got it. I kept saying you got it. It's no sweat. And yeah, you took care of the business. I mean, and it was, I think those lines helped kind of like really form, see people because the cameras weren't rolling and whatnot. So you really got to know people for who they are. I got to know about you, vice versa and whatnot. So definitely like I like these people in the line, and I hope they all make it through. And everybody made it through in their little squad. So that was good. So when we get to red light, green light, we're starting and the game's starting to go. How is it for you, like the whole process?
Well, with 456 players, I was way in the back and I didn't have a chance. I said, how am I going to do this? I have short legs and we have 5 minutes. Little do I know we have to stand around for like, for a long time so they can film us. But I was like worried because I was way in the back. And the first round, the first music that was played, I didn't even pass the starting line. I was like, oh no, I have so much worry then. But then, as they go along, it's like, okay, I think I got this, and I have 5 seconds left to finish
She
it.
made it. Okay, you made it in the last round in the waning seconds, kicked the game-winning field goal, and 2-8-7 passes the game, no problem. No sweat off her back, and she is cruising on. And so soon when we finally enter the dorms, when you get in there, tell me what's going through your head about the whole setup.
I was amazed. I was like, I was very thankful that I get to see the dormitory, and it's like, wow, it's so surreal to be, part of the Squid Game, the TV show, and it just, yeah, I was just so like thankful to for me to go into the next game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and so when you get in there, like, are you thinking about, making a line, like meeting everybody, only having a small group of people, and then who do you kind of really get close with?
Well, I didn't want to get close to anybody other than I already have a friendship with Chad and Cookie from the get go, and of course Rick. And then I know I was just observing because so many people, and I just wanted to take a step back and just observe and see everybody entertain themselves, or the one that's very outgoing, they're the one who get around first. But for me, I'm very introvert, so I was like, I'm just observing and see how I just hang out and talk to the people that I know, and it slowly opened up to to more friends.
Yeah, okay, nice. Like the low key game plan. Okay, so soon we get on to the second game and we realize it's Dalgona. So yeah, the first line goes in there and they tell us they have to pick. So boom, they're out. Second line goes in there, boom, they're out. Me. And then so which shape, how are you feeling about this? And then what line do you get into?
I was in line 3, the star. Yeah.
Okay.
But when I saw you in there trying to pick the shape, and I was like, okay, he's gonna be, I understand that you want a circle, everybody wants circle or the triangle, but I hope that it's like DeAndre, it's like pick something because I don't want to get you eliminated all of a sudden, like boom 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 boom, like, oh no, I was rooting for you in there, dude. I was like, what are you thinking? It's like, what are you thinking? And I was like, oh yeah, I was sad when you got eliminated. It's like, oh, there goes 288, our troop, the lineup.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, because I remember before we went in there when we were getting mic'd up, we got to talk a little bit. It was kind of quiet and a little tense when we were in the kitchen and got mic'd up because they put us back in our numbers and whatnot. And then I said, you got any advice on this? She's like, nope. I was like, all right. I was like, look, I hope we can do the right thing then. Good luck. All right, I'll see you on the other side. But yeah, I was very sad as well. And if I could go back, I would pick the umbrella. Hindsight 2020, but
right. I mean, at least you give yourself a chance, instead of being eliminated over, something that is out of your control. Because everybody was so stubborn. I was like, DeAndre, just pick anything. Just pick anything. What line were you in?
I was in the fourth line, so
the fourth line. Okay.
It was tough. Yeah. But yeah, that's what happened. So you end up getting the star. Tell me how you get through the star and how that goes for you.
So so what I did was when I was standing in line, waiting to get into it to play the game. So I was holding my saliva in my mouth the whole time. So I didn't want to talk to anyone. So my saliva would start, making it a lot. And so as soon as I get in there, I took the star out and put it on the lid because it's the depth is a little bit less, so that way you don't have to put your whole hand into the canister. So what I did was I put a little saliva along the star on the back, and then I let it soak for a few minutes because we have 10 minutes. I was no rush. So then what I did was I just poke at it slowly as the saliva melt the sugar. So I was like, do it very slow. It's like 10 minutes is a long time. So I was, and I, everybody said that the star is hard, but it's not, because it was, the corner is not like, a tip. It was like round. So it makes it a lot easier.
Okay, cool. A lot of people were saying you were helping them out before the game, giving people tips and whatnot. So there's a lot of shout outs to you in the white room going into there. So you actually helping other people out here, making your low key like, yo, I did you this favor, all right? So you gonna help me later.
No, and there's this one guy in there. I don't know what's his name, but he's like, he told the crew or the staff, like, oh, 287 is giving out advice on how to do the dalgona, and it's like, why do you do that? It's like, why do you just why you? And he's the one who asked me for advice too, and then he turned around and said, told on me that, oh, I give out advice on how to do cookies. Like, there's nothing that I can't say about helping people out.
Exactly. You just doing what you're doing. I mean,
anyway,
you asked for help too. See, that's what he gets. That's what he gets for trying to keep your mouth shut and you mind your business. All right. If you want this help, come get it. Don't be tattletaling on people, folks. Just let people do what they want to do. And so, yes, congratulations. You move on from that. And then we get back into the dorm and we see this telephone. Are you thinking about grabbing the telephone?
No, heck no.
Okay. Easy peasy.
Yeah. I was like, after a while, I wonder, like, okay, this is probably just a game to them. Everything is a game to them. So it wasn't for me to volunteer yet because there's still a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely was time to chill back and keep doing what you're doing, observing, which is very smart. 197 goes in there, bits the phone, and he gets shipped out soon, like an Amazon Prime package. And we continue on to the next game, and we walk into the white room this time, and there's 8 lines. And so, which line do you decide to get into?
I don't remember. All I know is I just want to pick the line, and I just sat down because I know we were under time too, 2 minutes to form a team. So I just sat in the front and I just turned around and stayed quiet because I know everybody was scrambling, like, oh no, you don't belong here, you belong here, or it's just crazy. And people get so mean to each other. It's like, get out, and that's all I hear. And then I was like, oh gosh. And then of course somebody like TJ and Dr. V or something, everybody start become trying to organize the mess of people in a frantic mode, and so I don't know what number. I think it was number 5 or 6. Anyhow, yeah.
Because TJ was your captain.
No. It was, so I was in the team with Chad,
Biggie, that's right. Okay.
Brownie, all.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah.
Yep.
So you guys get in.
Captain was Brownie. Yeah.
Yeah. Brownie was your team captain, and so you guys get in there. You find out it's not tug of war; it is warships, a different version of battleship. And you get in there, and ultimately, your team loses. Yes, your team loses, and you lose quite a few team members all around you. How are you feeling after this? Like this game and whatnot, with the whole result of everything.
I did not like worship because I was sitting duck. I have no control of what of control of my destiny in that game whatsoever. Even though I tried to input, like, okay, giving input to the captain, but it never got listened to or took advice from, because it was so many people all at once tried to give her some inputs, and I kind of got so frustrated, and I was standing next to Akuro, I don't know, he's a doctor.
AK?
Yeah, AK, yeah. And I said, and I elbowed him, said, can you please get Brown and, get her attention to, look at me, and like, do this. Like, but it was never taken, so. Wow, but I saw, the missile was like all around our boat. Yeah, it was on the side, front, and back. I was like,
yeah, that's good. I mean, very it's kind of good to have the missile kind of hit close to you, because then they're not going to hit that area again. They're just kind of like, going to skip past you. So you make it through that, even though a lot of your team members lose. But, Chad makes it through as well. And we keep it moving. So we soon get back to the dorm, and we find out that they bring this machine out to vote everyone out, to vote 3 people out. You have to get this long line, and so the 3 people that get voted out is 330 Dr. V, 374 Andy, and 161 Lorenzo. Tell me, who do you vote for and why?
I vote to 374 because he was annoying during the lineup of the worship. I swear, I mean, we were trying to, get our strategy down if we were to go to tug of war, and he just keep walking over and like this and try to listen in, and it just annoys us. It's like, please go away. He did not respect our wishes too, right? And he keep going back and doing this. Just put a thorn on our side, So I was like, this guy needs to be eliminated. He's annoying. Yeah.
Hey, I feel you. Okay, well, you get that's very valid. That's because I heard that story before already. So yeah, it's very valid, especially hearing that. So yes, they eventually get sent packing as well. We can't be being nosy, people. So that's another lesson. We learn a lot of lessons. Don't be getting nosy, and don't be telling on people. Okay, so you'll keep the lessons going. So then the next test is that they bring out 6 boxes and 5 people volunteer. 183 Jesse, 229 Felicia, 130 Jacobin, 87 Kyle, and 375 Joel. And so you see all these people up here. Are you thinking of any of them might vote you out? Because they say they might get the power to vote you out.
Yeah, the Jack in the Box. Yeah. I don't think so, because I was beginning to get to know them individually, but not just a general conversation. But I'm sure it's still there's still a lot of people in there that doesn't have a positive vibe coming from within them. So I think I was pretty laid low in the Jack in the Box. And so okay. I mean, I was scared because you never know, right? I don't know what's the outcome of that Jack in the Box. But I was standing there, one box after another. I was like, oh gosh, like, it's so stressful. Every game is stressful.
Yeah. Well, you made it through that. No teeth scathed, no skin off your back, and all your allies or your close friends are still there, are safe too. So definitely you make it out. And so it's time. Soon the guards bring out this picnic basket because everyone's earned this reward, and it's like, okay, pick a partner to get a picnic. And so when you see them do this, what's going through your head, and then why do you decide to pick your partner?
Because I chose, Jada and I chose each other because we were in the kitchen together doing the orange juice. And so we was like, oh, okay, we just got to know each other. And also I talked to her earlier in the dorm prior to all of these games with me and Justin and her. We're just, having a heart-to-heart conversation. And so we developed that friendship already. And then the orange juice, solidify even further. So we stand next to each other when they announced it. I said, and she and I like, okay, we're just gonna do, we're gonna partner up. Yeah, and it was hard, It's Jada, she's still like my daughter to me, and to play with her, and it was very emotional. And it's stupid me when they said that, oh, this is the marble game, or no, picnic, pick your partner. It's like, it didn't register in my head. It's like, maybe they're gonna go a day without having to do elimination or something sneaky. So I was so naive about that too. And it's like, okay, let's just have a nice picnic for once. And then of course everybody go, oh. It's like, what happened? Oh, like, what happened? It's like, lift the basket up or something. It's like, oh gosh, Jada and I was like, no.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and people are hungry too. So when you see food, you kind of like, your common sense goes out the window when you haven't eaten. So definitely, you're delusional a little bit. Like, let me just eat the food, and then all of a sudden it's like a game. But yeah, you end up picking Jada, and then so tell me what game you guys decide to play.
So we didn't want to do just like toss the marble into a bucket or something. So like, I'm not good at that, she's not good at that, so we have no idea what we're going to. So I said the easiest one is just do it against the wall. The closest to the wall, they get it. If they hit the wall, then that person will lose that marble. So Jada gained traction. She was beating me She only had one marble left. And then that one marble, when I tossed it, and then I tossed it next to the wall, and then it keep on going and going and going. And so at the end, I said, Jade, it's your turn. And she looked at me and started crying. Is that I don't have any marble. And she lost it and I lost it. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I felt guilty.
Yeah. Well, shout out Jada. Tough to go against your friend and whatnot, and especially something you weren't expecting, but you win the game, and so it's time to move up and move on. So you get back into the dorm, and they say everyone elect a leader, and everyone essentially elects TJ, not except Chad, of course. But yeah, during this,
I wish Chad would have stepped up once in a while.
He was sleeping. He said he was sleeping,
sleeping.
So it's on him. He gotta wake up, Chad. Come on now, you gotta wake up. That's another lesson. Don't sleep through things. But so during this, I will say, the edit shows you not fully trusting TJ. What was kind of skeptical? You were skeptical about him. Just curious.
Okay, so that scene right there, when Chad and I were talking, that was prior to the bridge. It was after the voting. Okay, because I would sit by the door at the entrance door. Me and Chad was talking, and then on the other side, it was TJ. What's her name?
Ashley?
Not Ashley. It was
23.
Is it not Chaz? It's the other one. Darius, and the one that's
Cheney.
Huh?
Cheney.
Yeah. Anyway, they were over there, right? And we were talking. And if you remember my saying, I don't trust him because he's still part of the clique, and I did not trust. So everybody missed that, and everybody assumed that it was after the bridge or before the bridge. But
after marbles, you mean?
Yeah, it was way before that when they sat this side, Chad and I sat the other side, and every time we would talk, and I would see them look over all the time, to see what we're talking about, what we're doing. So I said to Chad, it's like, I don't know if I trust them because they keep looking over here,
Yeah.
So it's a paranoia. I think everybody entitled to that paranoia because you don't know who has your back. And even though TJ said, oh yeah, I have your back, and I love TJ, and we become good friends, but then he showed me that he did have my back. So that's why I came up to him after the snake game. I said, dude, you really got my back. That's when I lost it. I was like, I owed him, my loyalty, and I wish I can do the same further in the game. But he got eliminated at the bridge, and it just I was heartbroken, and nobody can understand what I went through when I saw him took that first step and got number one. It's like, I wish I could have done better for him.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that, because how they put things out of order, because it really makes sense now. Because before the voting, you had all these people still his alliance. Like you have no reason to trust him because you're not his number 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you have reason to be skeptical. You see this group, and the editing, they switch it around, so that completely makes sense, and whatnot. Because the editing looks all wonky, but yeah, no, when he you guys had that conversation, and then okay, now I can fully trust him and whatnot. So because he picks you first, obviously. And then you obviously pick Chad, which and so yeah, it's good. I like that you kind of cleared that up, because it made everything was like, because you're watching it and you're like, well, he just helped her, and then this and then that. So definitely it makes sense.
Right. And when I watched that episode, I was so mad with the editor when they put that in. I understand they want to put in drama and put something interesting in there, but at the expense of showing me that I didn't have any integrity, which I do. I always follow through with my integrity on people who I choose. And when they did that, I was just so upset with putting me at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yep, 100%, 100%. I was like, Mai wouldn't do that. It doesn't make sense. So, I mean, I know how editing works, but I didn't believe. But yes, we move on, and then so we have to pick them, and TJ picks you like he says he would. You pick Chad, of course, like duh. And then everyone else goes through, and you're pretty much chilling the whole way through, and then we do get to Glass Bridge, and well, before we get there, we get these teddy bears, and they say you get the teddy bear, you give it to somebody. So TJ once again he gets teddy bear number 20, and you don't have one yet, and he gives it to you. So is this kind of like, how are you feeling once this goes down?
So I was first in line to pick the number, and I gave it to Marina, number 4. Because number 4 to me, I wouldn't give TJ that number. Yeah. And so Marina is the best choice because I don't know her. So and it's and of course, after I gave that number, everybody gave me such a hard time. It's like I went, against the women, after picking Chad, now I'm picking on Marina. So during the lineup of going on the bridge, not all the females talked to me because that's what I did. Yeah, when I was waiting for my numbers, for somebody to give me the number, I was like, oh shoot, nobody's giving me the number yet. Like I was starting sweating. And then of course, then when TJ came up and he got number 20, and he just cracks up and he goes, oh, I can't believe I got number 20. And then I thought he's gonna give it to, I don't know, what's it, Ashley? No, Ashley already had a number. I was like,
Chaz.
Yeah. Anyway,
221. Yeah.
Anyway, I was like, I was just standing there. I didn't expect nothing, for him to give it to me or anything. I just waiting, for him to pick a person. And then of course when he said my name again, it's like, damn, TJ, you really got my back. I love you. Inside of me is like, oh my God, I want to return the favor. Yeah. And when Jackie gave him number 1, my heart sank. That's like, oh gosh, TJ, not TJ. I was sad. I was really sad.
Yeah, it was a tough blow, and a lot of people I talked to said that everyone would have gave him number 1. Not you, of course, but a lot of people were whoever got number 1, he was given to, just because he was the leader and whatnot, and that's just unfortunate. Like you said, when you're up front, people are gonna find anything to kind of give you whatever. So yes, you get number 20, and the system you guys choose, fortunately, benefits the high numbers, and you guys get to be in the back and kind of relax. But you, however, offer to take jumps for certain people. So tell me about that.
Well, for one, okay, there was 5 minutes. I think it was 5 minutes.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes. But when it comes to towards the end, we have 5 minutes left. And a lot of people, are taking their turns. And I was like, come on, people, even regardless of number 20, you still don't have that opportunity it's time for your turn to do it. But at the same time, I was like, if people are hesitant, I would take their turn and take it for them. I think the bridge is a teamwork effort, so I keep calling up Chad. I said, Chad, let me know how many are left. I would do it. And of course he lied to me. He goes, oh no, we're almost done. But actually there's two steps more, 2 more steps. And I said, okay, I believed him. But then, people keep jumping. And I was like, okay, I would take 1 for the team if it needs to be, if somebody, are afraid. And then next thing I know, it's there's no more, bridge, or there's no more steps to take. So I just follow everybody, went through it.
Yeah, no, definitely take on time, and Chaz looking out for you as well. So kudos to him as well. And you make it through the glass bridge. And so you guys get out of there, and it's time. The guards soon bring out this triangle rope and put this dice in the middle. But before then, you and Ashley have a conversation about, who jumped, she didn't jump, and this and that. So what was your perspective on the whole situation to clear things up?
Regardless, I was in the back. I was observing everyone, okay, who was, taking for the team, who was not taking for the team. And I stared at Ashley for the longest. I said, Ashley, I was thinking to myself, I said, Ashley, you going to jump? No. It's like, and then of course, Trey took another jump. I said, Trey, what are you doing? And I thought he was lost it at the time too, because I think he he couldn't think straight because his mom wasn't there or something. Because a lot of time he asks this question out of the blue, and people are like, "Huh? Is he losing it?" You know, because I asked him at the LA event too. I said, "Trey, what were you thinking on the bridge?" Because there are things that you ask us like, "What do you think my mother would do if, you know, do I deserve number 3 or something like that?" It's like we didn't know, you know. And then so he keep on stepping and stepping, and then after he got eliminated, I said, why would he do that? You know, why wouldn't Ashley, you know, take some pressure off of him? Because I know he's lost, and it lost losing, you know, his mom also put a little stressor on him too. It's like why didn't she just jump for him, you know? And so I just hold that thought, her actions on the bridge, to the dice game.
Yeah. And you said you were in the back, so you didn't get a clear view of things because you have all these people in front. So definitely, you know, makes sense on your end of the spectrum. But you do actually find out that she did take her jump. And Trey kind of, like you just said, did his own thing. And so you guys clear this up, you know, bygones be bygones, shake hands, move on. It's time for the dice game. And everyone has this agreement, like, oh, we're going to call our own numbers, which, you know, I have my own opinions about. I don't know if it should have went like that, but that's just me. But I understand everyone's close at this point, and everyone's trying to play fair. I get it. So you're first, and you decide to give it to Ashley. Tell me about that.
Well, I gave it to Ashley because I told her from the get-go, is like, you know, I didn't think you were a team player. And to me, you know, team playing at certain time, at certain game is very important. And for her, maybe if she took a turn and Trey didn't take all those turns, maybe he would have been on board. And just for her not to take those turns, just to me is like, will she have my back if I need her in another game? So I just decided to nominate her because I want to nominate the weakest link to get out the team. Yeah.
And so this was also after you guys had your conversation, correct? Like you guys already had your okay. And so
no,
your
after the conversation is after. It's after the conversation.
Oh, so you guys didn't have a talk in between Glass Bridge and then this dice game?
No. After the dice game, that's when I came up to her and said, look, the reason why I chose you is because I felt that you didn't do it for teamwork, you know?
Got you. That makes sense.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, because in the editing, it makes it look like you guys do Glass Bridge, then have a conversation, then do this little dice game. When in reality, you did the Glass Bridge, then you kind of went straight to the dice game, and then you had the conversation.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
I don't hold grudges. I just want to make sure everybody, because if you notice in my thought process and my actions, is that what I explain what my action is after the fact. I always explain why after.
Yeah. Yep. So, okay, it's a little editing tactics that they're using to try and confuse us casual folks, but I'm glad you clearing this up. Everything is making sense. So, you know, we do the dice, you give it to her, you guys go around, she gives it to you, and ultimately Perna, Chad, and B are out, and they all roll 6s. So yeah, Chad is gone. Terrible moment. You know, you hit him a little bit, and
I did. I said, to me, it's like, why would you do that? You are in the top 12 right now. Why would you self-eliminate? I mean, I understand that he went through, you know, losing Brownie and his, you know, anniversary's coming up, his birthday and all that. He missed all that. But you in it for this game. That's the reason why you apply. And then I kind of, you know, it's like, why would you do that? Why would you do self-elimination? I tried to understand his thought process. He should have done. I think I wanted him to be more of a player than playing by his heart. Because I understand he has a big heart. And sometimes you just have to let the heart aside and do with your gut instinct. And that's why you're in here. You're here to play.
Yeah. Yeah. And I totally, you know, you picking someone else, I totally commend. And picking yourself, it's kind of like, I get it. You're trying to, like, you could form these rules and whatnot. I get it. You guys form this bond, but you, like you just said, you gotta play with the game. You know, you can't play other people's game. And at that moment, you know, that's just what happened. But yes, unfortunately, Chad leaves us there and down to 9 people. So we'll be soon get into this new room, find out this game is Circle of Trust. Someone puts the box in your desk. You got to figure out who it is. And so this game gets started and whatnot. And so how you feeling all right going into this game, since you know your profession, kind of, you know, sussing people out?
Every game is a stressor for me, Andre. I get very scared because I always get scared of elimination. Even though, you know, I have a formula in my head how I'm gonna approach each game, but each game I go in there, I just sat, I prayed, and I hope I do the right thing.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. I love that. I love that. So you get tapped first and you give it to Roland. And, you know, you give it to him because.
Because he trusts me. And I think after the circle of trust, I don't think he's going to trust anybody again. And I said, I saw him at LA event and I said, Roland, this is only a game. I hope that this does not reflect of who I am. I'm just playing a game for the moment. And I found that you were the best candidate at the time. So I'm sure that you would probably do the same if the roles were reversed. But yeah, I had to go through really quick in my head and look at everybody's faces. Who is the best candidate for the coffin on the table?
Yeah, that was super smart of you to do as well. So game continues. Roland is gone. And so soon Elliot is tapped and he gives it to some person. And then you have the box on your desk. And so now it's your turn to figure it out. How do you figure out it's Elliot?
Okay, so first of all, when I was going, when I placed the coffin on Roland's desk, he was staring at me the whole time. Probably knew that it was me. He keeps staring and staring. And I think that, you know, and just by his fidgety and everything else, you know, and he still stared at me when, you know, after he placed that coffin in my box. And every time I look back at him, he would look away. Like, you know, like, come on, dude, you're so giving me away right now. And I said, you know, before the cut, so I just go, I put a coffin on the stand, and I already knew who it was. I didn't even know, I didn't even need to investigate. I just put the coffin on the stand. I said, okay, I'm ready. And then of course the director, he go in and said, well, you have to, you know, do some kind of like what Phil did, investigate to see why I chose, you know, Elliot. And so I went around the table, you know, and of course I said, Ashley, we have made our differences and I trust your words and you're a strong woman. So I just start going around the table. And then of course I tried to, you know, spice it up by saying, Sam, I think maybe it's possible you. And then of course I go to Elliot and maybe it's possible you. It's like just to give, you know, a, you know, so people can guess, are those two, you know? But I knew Elliot the whole time.
See, Elliot, I had him on a podcast. He's like, look, he was fidgeting, he was sweating, he was looking, he was acting crazy in there. So he was like, I had the worst poker face. I knew I was getting eliminated in the game.
So was he surprised? Was he surprised when
he wasn't shocked that he got found out, because he said like he has a little bit of claustrophobia, and so when he gets the blindfold on, it just tenses him up a little bit, and so when he has to be the one to pick somebody, he's like agitated and nervous already as it is, and that's amplified with him actually doing the deed. And he knew it once, especially with you being an adjudicator, like it's probably time to go. And I was like, dang, Ellie, you should have picked somebody else. But that's what happens. And then last.
Yeah, I'm
no,
glad
go
you
ahead.
picked me though.
Yeah, no, Elliot. Yeah, I'm always picking you for something like that. He's the person to go to. So then, lastly in the game, you get picked by Hallie. It's Hallie's turn, and she thinks that you put the box on her desk, and you know, what you just looking at her like, nah, it wasn't me. And then
No, I knew it wasn't me, and you know, and I was like, okay, go ahead and pick me, because I was at that stage, my level of confidence and stress was, my confidence was high, my stress was low, because I'm done. You know, that game is over, because I know I'm in the final three. And so she walking around and, you know, trying to, you know, see who picked it. And I was like, you can pick me whatever you want. But at the same time, I felt so relieved. You know, it's like, whew. So
yeah, no, definitely. No, go ahead.
I'm glad that Phil and Sam were the final three with me.
Yep. So yeah, Hallie's up out of there. So congratulations, final three. How does it feel when you get back in the dorms and like everything's setting in with the final three?
It was still, I'm glad that game is over and I felt relieved. But then when I got to the dorm, I see Sam and I see Phil, and they will have a very strong bond together as friends. And so I was a third man, out. And so I didn't trust Sam. I can trust Phil, but I don't trust Sam. And so I was like, if they have the opportunity, they're gonna take me out. It's because I'm just out in the left field. So
yeah, definitely. It was kind of 2-on-1 at that point,
Yeah.
So definitely was visible. But yes, we get in there and soon we, they talk a little, you guys talk a little bit, the piggy banks fills up and you guys get dressed in your suits and whatnot, get fitted. And so you got, taking time with all that. It was a kind of a busy day for you. Well, now you don't get to communicate that much. But soon you go to the dinner table and it's this grand setup. So walking in there, tell me what you're thinking when you see this dinner set.
It was beautiful. I was like, wow, it's better than the table that they did on the TV show.
it looked pretty cool. It would look
It's
pretty
very
cool.
nice. Yeah. I was like, wow. I was like, I did not look for, the piggy bank or anything. I just looked at the moment. It's like, wow, I'm here. I'm the final three. Like, the TV show is like, this is serious, but it's not, it's not over yet. So I did not get hyped up or being arrogant or anything. I still afraid inside, even though I show my happiness that, the dinner table and everything, but inside I was very scared.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's a high tense moment because it's we getting down to the real nitty gritty. Like this is it. And so, yes, you guys sit at the table and talking a little bit, reintroducing yourselves, but you guys kind of already know what's going on. And the announcer comes on, says, this is a game. This is the last test per se. And he opens the middle filet mignon and it turns out to be buttons, circle, triangle, square. They say they tell you the rules and whatnot, and somebody's eliminated, you eliminate someone else, or you make it through. So you decide to go first. Why do you want to go first?
Because I want to be I want to determine my destiny. So I knew when I sat down, I said, there is a big platter in the middle of the floor. I knew right away it's gonna be an elimination game. So I was like, formulate, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it, and stuff like that. And when they said, well, it's up to us three to decide who's gonna go first. So being Sam and Phil going back and forth, well, I don't know, she go, I don't know. It's like, okay, let me go. So it's like, if I and I said this, I said that if I get eliminated, at least I made it to the final three with a wonderful people, and mentally I was ready to be eliminated because I made it to this far in the game that I would not, be disappointed. So I said, okay, let me go first, and also, that's a choice for my destiny too. So I was gonna pick the circle, but somehow I said, okay, let me pick the pyramid or the triangle because it's pointing up to the heavens. I said, okay, let me do that. So I chose the pyramid or the triangle.
Okay, and she chose. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's good. But I said, it's great, but that's good. But then if somebody pick a circle, guess who's gonna eliminate? It's me. Yep. And so everything turned out to be in my favor.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Lord. Come on now, Jesus. Thank you. No, but yes, you pick triangle, and then they say nothing happens.
Yeah.
And Sam picks square, and then he is eliminated, and then you made the final two. So before I move on real quick, I just want to say, did you look at the circle was underneath the table? The platform underneath the table was a circle, and you guys were at a triangle table, and then the little box, the square, triangle, circle buttons were underneath the circle. Were you paying attention to all those little things and thinking like?
No, I did not.
Okay.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was like looking for clues on watching, and so I didn't know, it probably didn't matter, but I was just thinking about those things and wonder if you did too. But yeah, you definitely picked the reason, and you made a good choice. Safe, it wasn't. I mean, you could have picked the circle, but eventually you move on point blank in the period, and it is gone to the final 2 now. So congratulations once again. It's amazing. So now, how you feeling?
I wasn't like, I felt relief, but at the same time, during the interview, it said, "Are you happy? Are you ready to to celebrate?" I said, "No, because I still have one more game left. I would not." I was like, I don't want to celebrate and put myself in a situation. It's like, oh shoot, I celebrate too early. I said,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I said, not until I am number one, and then I can actually celebrate.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Humble queen. We love that. We love that. A lot of people, another lesson: don't celebrate prematurely too. Keep the lessons going, Mai. Okay, so we get finally we go back out of there, and we finally re-enter the Dalgona playground again, once again, where my demise was at. So the dead is coming back. I'm trying to give you some extra energy while I'm out the game in the Dalgona playground, all their fallen allies. And so you get in there and you see the setup, and they explain that the final game is rock, paper, scissors. How you feeling about that?
I was relieved to find out that it's not a physical contact game. It's not a mental game. It's just rare chance. It's a chance game. That it was, a breath of fresh air, because, throughout the 2.5 weeks, playing the games, I was very stressed and I was so afraid. And so the final game, I know a lot of people don't like it. They thought it was more of they thought it's going to be more of a challenging game. But for me, putting through all those steps in the game throughout the 2.5 weeks, I felt relieved. I was so happy. It's like, okay, it's like, this is so easy. Anybody can win this, and it's fair game too, right? It's not, and it's, for Phil and for me, it's a fair game, and I love it.
Yeah, it was definitely fair indeed. And so, you go in there. Now, you have a plan, you have a strategy, and it seems from the viewer's point of view, like, oh dang, she's been praying this every single day. She got the whole psyche down. Is that true? Like you had the strategy, or was it truly like you just said, just a luck and shot in the dark?
Okay, it's a 50-50. So I play this, a lot. I mean, I have kids and I have a granddaughter, and even during adulthood, you play too. Just like breaking a tie, or picking a team to be a captain or whatever. So I just, like, when you watch people, what shape they've come out, I just noticed that, I just keep a statistic of men usually do the rock first, and then second would be the scissor, because those are powerful tools, right? And of course paper is flimsy. So it's maybe it's a metaphor, but it's just symbolic to me that it's so funny that guys always pick rock. And even when Brighton and I play in LA, when we're doing the shoot in LA, of course Brighton said, "No, let's play, rock, paper, scissors." And of course, the first thing he came out was always rock, 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 rock. And I proved the first time, I was like, "Oh, see, it's a rock." So yeah, I already formulate a plan coming to the rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, so the game is moving on, and you just winning round after round after round after round. Phil's winning a few here, but you just dominating the station over here. I mean, you 21 skunking this man over here. I mean, they tell you a little bit. You got to let him win a few now, just for TV sake. Come on now. I mean, just a couple now. We'll lead him to the wrong key. All right, just let him win a couple, because we need this footage. And so you eventually, after 30 or so rounds per se,
that's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time, and you're getting down to the few keys. Like, are you thinking, like, how are you feeling once you're winning all these games, but you're not getting the keys?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot to go through, and for me, everything is symbolic, when I pick up the key, because each key has a different shape at the top of the key, or at the top of the key. And so I was like, I was thinking of, or maybe, the keys are Chinese keys. So I'm trying to think of, a Chinese symbolic, to the key. And then, of course, then I say, oh, well, let me pick a key that's, symbolic to the heavens, or, and then I always pick like a cross or something that it represent heavenly bodies. So the key that I picked, it was, I don't know, the symbols, but I picked it because it represent heavenly bodies. So, and that was the key.
And that was the key. You put it in there, and then, you know, it's jiggling. You step away, and then boom. So you open the gate, you get the prize, and you know the pretend confetti blows and everything. And so tell me, how is it like when it opens up? I know there's only 2 of you in there, but there's not a big cheer. There's not like all this stuff that we see on TV. Tell me how it really was.
Okay, so when I tried to open it the first time, my hand was so shaking, and I don't think I turned the key hard enough for the door to open. So so I had, so the adjudicators and the officials came out there to check to make sure that it was not the key or the safe. So they were testing it, to make sure that that is the key. And when they tested, the adjudicator come out, the safe did open. It's just that I didn't turn hard enough.
Oh.
So they asked me to do it again to make sure that I have the winning keys. I turned it, the safe open. It's like, I was like, now I can celebrate. It's over. I felt an instant gratification because all the burden just lifted off my shoulder, And little do I know, it's going to be the next whole almost 10 months to hold that secret.
Yeah.
To keep it quiet. That's also stressful.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, they had people calling y'all every day like, "Hey, you good?" They had tapped your phone, tapped everything, the text messages. They were checking everything. They had a secret security following you around like the president, making sure that you didn't say nothing. So yeah, so congratulations. That's when Mai wins the game. Amazing. Nobody knows this thing but you guys. And so you eventually leave London. Well, I guess before I get there, when you go back to the hotel afterwards, how are you? Is it setting in yet? Like, is it? No, not yet.
No, when I got to the hotel, I stayed there for a few days just to decompress because I wasn't, I was shocked. I was happy that's over. At the same time, it's like trying to reconnect back to the world, having a phone, know what time it is. And, and it's just funny that the hotel that I stayed at, there's so many symbolic, from the Squid Game. Like there's a piggy bank, that was in the hotel. There's like a star, it's in the hotel. So everything is like, I look at it, it's like, wow. It's like, it's still, I'm still connecting to the Squid Game somehow, even though it's finished. So it was very nostalgic, and it was sentimental to me when it's over, because I left a lot of friends, you, Chad, Cookie, Phil, Sam. I mean, just the list just go on and on.
Yeah.
And so definitely. It was, yeah.
Well, cool. Well, yeah. So, you have the whole time at the hotel, then it's time to go back home. So as you just stated, it was very difficult to hold this. How really was it for this long period of time? And we shot in January to hold this down, and like, how you got to go back to work. You got to do all these regular things. And it's like, you just thinking about it, it's just like difficult. So tell me how that was this whole time.
Actually, I did not tell a lot of people, and which is good. And then other than my boss, and then a few people that I tried to get them applied when they ask for, like, do you have any friends that you think that can interested in to go on the show. And so those are the kind of those friends that I talked to because of that. And of course, they asked, like, so how far did you go? I said, well, I got eliminated, and and then of course they asked me, well, 2.5 weeks is a long time. So at what stage or did you get eliminated? And I said, oh, the first week or so. And so when the game, my daughter asked me, I also told her that I got eliminated. Of course, when the show came out, I said, okay, I'll watch you. How far along were you in the game? I said, probably soon. And so she kept watching and watching and watching. And the next thing she knows, Mom, You're in the final 3. How are you that? How did you get eliminated? If you're in final 3, I said, pulling my leg. That's all I said. Like, I guess you have to, I said, you have to keep watching. I might get eliminated in the final round of the, and she goes, yeah, right. And then so she keep watching, and then when she find out that I won, I was like, Mom, I can't believe you. I cannot believe you.
Oh my gosh, that would be. I wouldn't even. She's probably never looking at you the same. Like, what is happening?
And I wasn't there to watch finale with her, but just her reaction, when she texted me, it's like, Mom, you lied to me.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. I mean, definitely props to you for being able to hold that. I mean, you had to, but it's just funny the way that you told me like, oh, I was out the first, early on and whatnot. And then I'm sure once they finally found out, people are like, oh my gosh, she told us she was gone the first game. What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And so that's
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, so I told when I did not tell my neighbors, and of course my neighbor find out when all the news came out. I'm in the top 3 and blah blah blah, and she goes, the whole time that I live next to you, I'm living next to a star. It's like, I was like, it's nothing really, it's nothing. But she goes, I cannot believe you hold that secret for as long as you did.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's kind of a mind-blowing thing. I mean, just your neighbor too. It's funny. So everything, finally get the finale, boom, confetti blows. That's kind of, I mean, you already knew, but that's really, did it set in then? Like you won again? Or like when did it finally hit you like, okay, I'm winning? Or is it still not kind of set in per se?
It hasn't set in yet, DeAndre. Okay. And I'm still amazed that, I won. It's like, it doesn't change anything. I mean, it doesn't change who I am. Yep. But I just still haven't set in yet. I swear. I live my life normally, it's not anything, I guess anything special to me, I guess. But it's a challenge that I check off my list that I did it, I did it for myself, that I can, I can do anything.
Yeah, that's beautiful to hear, y'all. I mean, humility at its finest. There's no other person, I think, in this whole game more deserving to win the money than you, and I stand by that 100%. Regardless, everyone else, great people and whatnot, but I definitely think you had the character, you had the tenacity, and you had the humility and, just the right kind of vibes, I guess, to kind of put all those things in one and really thrust your way forward. A little bit of luck also as well, but I'd say, when it was your time to make your moves, you did the right move, period. So, because, a lot of other people, when they were in the front or they're in position of making a move, it wasn't the right one, So definitely huge props to you, and your instincts definitely guided you with that. And, the Lord as well. So, yeah, I mean, I'm super happy for you, super proud of you. I mean, I didn't look when I first met you. You see everybody and you don't picture the money. You're not picturing, oh, this person can win. You're thinking whatever. But I saw you. I was like, oh, I hope she makes it through red light, green light. And she wins the whole show.
And and also just a little side note, but everybody's so vested in alliance and just last minute, or just like after the bridge, or is it after the bridge or before the bridge, or the snake? I'm sorry, right after the snake, and all the women form alliance, pick the men, and it's like, okay, but where is your loyalty to your friends? It's like, I understand, women's. It's not about women against men. It's about you as a person. What are you going to play in this game to move forward? Yeah. So. And I hope people see that my integrity, my loyalty to friendship is more than just form a quick alliance to get an advantage in the game. So I don't, so when for them to think, oh, she cannot be trusted. But you know what? If you have me on your side, you will never lose.
Exactly. You won't lose if you a frog, dog, cat, horse. If you wouldn't mind, she gonna have you. And I 100% stand by you, because you just really talk to these people, and how can you expect to put all your trust and faith in them when somebody you knew from the very beginning before the cameras were rolling? So that doesn't make sense in my mind. Like, why wouldn't she? Like, that's what I say. You pick Chad. Duh. It's like, well, what do you expect her to do? Pick somebody who she just met over her friend that's helped her, you know? So 100% stand by you with that. Yes, I understand y'all trying to make something work for the game, but that's not your game. So definitely respect you for standing by everything that you did and said, 10 toes down, no apologies. This is what you believe in. This is what you're saying, and this is what you're going to do. And there's no more loyal person than that kind of person, I think. Because if you were willing to waver, like, oh, I got to do, Chad, I'm going to pick the women because I want to do women, you'd be like, what? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So definitely. But yeah, I appreciate you joining me today. Sorry, we went a little bit over time.
It's okay.
Apologize. But is there any last words you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Have fun, and I hope everybody apply for season 2, and just go against the grain sometime, because that's where you find your true character and your true friends.
I'm gonna give you some class, Miles. Come on now, I'm gonna give you class now.
Are you gonna apply? I hope you apply, DeAndre.
We'll see. Look. Yeah. To you, I'm gonna do everything that you saying now. So since you said apply, I ain't said this yet. People ask me maybe. Since you said I should apply, I'm gonna apply. Okay, there it is, y'all.
You have the tenacity. Just don't be stubborn.
I'm listening. 100%. I don't know what else is happening, but I'm hearing everything and it's coming through. If you tell me anything, I got it. It's done. Like, I'm gonna finish the application this week, and then we gonna send it in. And I'm gonna listen to make decisions, do all that. It's done.
Yeah.
So
don't be a hero, because you can, if you have umbrella, if you have the skill, you can overcome anything.
Okay. See, I'm doing it.
All
Y'all
right,
heard it here first.
I'm rooting for you.
All right. I got you. Well, thank you so much again, Mai, for joining me. I really appreciate you. Love you. I can't wait to see you soon. And till next time, y'all, we out of here. Appreciate you joining us. Peace and blessings.
Have a good weekend.
You too.